Sleeveless is back. You know why? UFC this weekend. UFC 284 is on Makhachev versus Alexander the Great. Volkanovski. Co-main event is Yair Rodriguez and Josh Emmett, another good fight. Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker were supposed to be on this card, but yeah, that's what the UFC announced anyway, but it was never signed with Paulo contract because they wouldn't give him enough money. Imagine what this card would be like if those two run. It would be more beefed out, but it's only really those two main fights. You've maybe Jack Madalena or something like that. Another couple of guys that I've heard names of, but I don't know too much on them, so I'm going to say no on them because I just don't know them, innit? But yeah, those two fights I'm going to be running through. So yeah, let's go. Starting off with the co-main events, we've got Josh Emmett. Kind of burst onto the scene for me recently. I think it was his last fight, the fight before that I tuned into. Oh no, it was 2 fights ago. He beat Calvin Kattar in the last fight, and I seen him. Pretty sure he bust up Dan Egan. I think that was probably his first fight that I seen. Second fight was against Calvin Kattar. But looking at his record, he's on a 5-fight win streak. Some notable wins over Dan Egan, Calvin Kattar, Shane Burgos. That's his last 3 fights, only and 2 more before that. But the problem with, he hasn't been fighting, it might not be a problem in this matchup, I'll get onto that. But the problem is, not a problem, but just he hasn't fought much recently. I think it's like, so he fought once last year in July, he fought once the year before that, he fought once the year before that. He's not really been that active. Fought once in 2022 against Kattar, fought only once in 2021 against Daniga, only fought once in 2020 against Shane Burgos. That maybe had to do with the pandemic, obviously, but still, with it, after the pandemic, he's only fought twice in those 2 years. He fought twice in 2019, to be fair. Then no fights in 2018, and then back to 2017 and fought sometimes then. So he's not really been that active. Maybe that's just why I don't remember him, or I've never really seen him before, because he's only come on the scene recently. We've got his big wins recently. Since he beat Michael Johnson in 2019, that was a big win. Michael Johnson is a fairly big name in that division. Mirsad Bektic he beat as well. And then into Shane Burgos, Dan Egan and Calvin Kattar. Good run. Is it a title worthy run? Probably nowadays. It's only an interim title anyway. But on the flip side, you have Yair Rodriguez. He hasn't been that active either. About 5 fights in the past 5 years. Last year against Brian Ortega, where it only went around. The year before, it was a whole year before that against Max Holloway, which he lost. And then you have to go 2 years prior to that, partially due to COVID. And I know he's had an injury that's kept him out for a while as well. But then there was a fight and a win against Jeremy Stevens. So that's really his last proper win since 2019. Yes, the injury, COVID, still, yeah. It's still a long time being inactive, but like I said, maybe just the inactivity between both fighters just cancels it out. Also, before that Jeremy Stevens fight, that was a rematch as well, because there was a no contest like a month or 2 before. Before that, it was a year before that against the Korean Zombie, which he won, yeah. So, but it's still inactivity, which we don't like to see. We want to see active fighters. I've been going into fights, when you're judging their records, when they're so distance apart and being inactive, you don't know how much they've improved, how much they've declined even. So yeah, maybe inactivity in this fight, not the biggest factor, but just I said I'd mention it anywhere. Looking at the records as well, El Pandero, I think is his name. Yair Rodriguez is like 14-3, whereas Josh Emmett is 18-2. A very good record for Josh Emmett. Like, that's Volkanovski is like 21-1, Makhachev pretty similar. 2 losses ain't bad like in this game. So 18-2, yeah. He's quite old as well though. He's 38 next month. Yair Rodriguez is, well, I was going to say just turned 30, but 30 like 6 months ago in October, whatnot. So he won't be 31 for a while. So he's got 7.5 years on him. Will that play a factor? They both went, no, they didn't go both. Josh Emmett went 5 rounds last time. Yair Rodriguez went 4 minutes last time, but he went 5 the fight before that against Max Holloway. And we know Max Holloway can keep pace up for 5 rounds. He did use a lot of wrestling in that match, so is that more tiring as the recipient or having to stand on your feet? I'm not too sure. But yeah, gas tank wise, Josh Emmett seems like a little bit of an athlete. He seems like he's got the body type of a Volkanovski 2.0, maybe or 0.5, because he's probably not as good as him, because Volkanovski is the number 1 pound for pound, the best in the world at the moment, so he's probably not as good as Volkanovski quite yet. Will he face him? That's the prediction. Who will win, Yair Rodriguez or Josh Emmett? I'm going to go Josh Emmett on this one. I think Max Holloway may have set the blueprint to beat Yair Rodriguez with his wrestling. Although Brian Ortega did have a struggle taking Rodriguez down. Rodriguez loved his heel shot to Brian Ortega's shin. He kept lifting his foot every time he tried to do that. But yeah, that was just a funny shot I seen from that fight. I just rewatched it there. He only won that fight because Ortega's shoulder popped out. I don't know if he forced that or whatnot. It was just the way they fell, and then kind of grappling exchange, they got into the floor. Rodriguez kind of got him in an armbar, but I think he may have popped it just before then. Don't know. Chael Sonnen will definitely say that's Rodriguez. He meant to do that, and that's a fair win. Okay, we've got to go with Uncle Chael on that one, but yeah, I'm gonna go with Josh Emmett. Just that wrestling factor, because if Max Holloway can take you down that many times, I think Josh Emmett might be able to do the same. Coming from he's a shorter man as well, so it's easier for him to get down and towards the hips. He's a powerful boy, Josh Emmett. He's got big muscles in the legs, and he's a big dude, so he'll be able to lift him. He should be able to lift him fairly enough, and he's got a beautiful overhand right, pure swing, pure smack of a shot. Yeah, it's a good overhand right on him. It hurt Calvin Kattar a good few times too, but Calvin Kattar did use his jab effectively in the last fight, which Yair Rodriguez has in the locker too. A good jab for the both of them. So if you can pop that jab off from Josh Emmett's face and balloon it up, and we all know Yair Rodriguez has some unorthodox shots. Case in point, his heel shots to Ortega's shin, his backwards uppercut of an elbow on the Korean Zombie knocked him cold. Yeah, unorthodox. Will he pull something off? Hopefully. Or I don't actually have any dog in this fight. I don't really care who wins. If Josh Emmett wins, it's like a boss versus apprentice sort of fight with Volkanovski to unify it. And maybe, I think that'll be a better fight than Yair versus Volkanovski, because Yair is of maybe similar ilk to Max. So I'll go with Josh, preferably, just because the matchup with Vol could be more entertaining, I guess, because they're both small, stocky jack dudes. Yeah, that's not the reason I'm picking him. I'm picking him because I think he'd be the better fighter in this fight, not because of the matchup or that I like two stocky dudes to find it out. Yeah, alright, yeah, Josh Emmett to win that one. On to the main event. Easily, probably, I was going to say the biggest fight of the year, but Jones is fighting next month and Conor is coming back. So, yeah, biggest MMA wise and talent and whatnot until next month when Jones comes back. Yeah, pound for pound number 1 and number 2 in Islam and Volk. Really like Volkanovski. He's really grown on me over the years now. I was a Max fan. I preferred Max Holloway, but you got to hold your hands up and be like, Volkanovski, take a bow, fair and square. He's just a man recently now. He's just turning up at another level. The confidence on this man. Do you remember in the Korean Zombie fight? He was on smoke. He was basically telling me I have to call it off because I'm trashing this dude. Yeah, no, he wanted the ref to step in just because he was smoking. He actually got stopped on the feet then because he just kept landing shots. But yeah, Volk is a bad dude. I was going to say good ground game, but tough ground game in case Islam takes him down. We've seen with Brian T. City, his chokes didn't work. Probably gassed him out, that's what I think. Gassed T. City out in their fight. And it was 3 close submissions that Brian got. So I was going to say Volkanovski's good on the ground. The fact Ortega got him there was a little bit of a worry. Islam way bigger. He's the biggest guy in the lightweight division easily. Well, not biggest, but strong and whatnot. I was going to tense there, but we don't want to see that. But yeah, he's definitely the strongest guy in the division. He's just got that Dagestani power that Khabib had. They may not look as big as they are, but the strength those dudes. He basically bent Dan Hooker's arm behind his back and forced him to tap out. That's ridiculous. He's a bit of a manhandler like Khabib. They got that strength, like I said. But Volkanovski's a little short tank dude. I keep mentioning that. But yeah, he's a lot smaller than Islam as well. Islam keeps calling him short, but short king, stay winning. Maybe not this time. But yeah, Volkanovski, will he get this one done? Champ status on the line. Pound for pound number 1 also on the line. It'd be a great story, whoever wins really. I really like this fight. I would like Volkanovski to win, just because I've kind of fallen in love with him recently. Islam Makhachev, I didn't think he deserved the title fight, but everyone in the top 5 ducked him, so you had to give him the title fight with Oliveira, and he'd done the business there. So it's fair enough, you're class, you're the man now. How will his legacy go on? Would he overtake Khabib's legacy? Makhachev's got a decent record himself. I think he's only 1 loss. Both of these guys only got 1 losses, if I'm correct. But yeah, I'm going to have to go with pound for pound number 2 on this one. If he gets the number 1 the next week, who knows? Probably. I think you're going to have to give it to him. But yeah, going to go Islam Makhachev. In what way? I don't know. Will he finish him on the feet, standing? I think Volkanovski's probably got the upper hand on the feet. I haven't seen Islam on the feet rock dudes that many times, but he did rock Charles to knock him down and then sub him. But Volkanovski, we've seen him stop dudes on the feet, so I think he might have the advantage there. Islam might go out of his way to make a case and point like he did with Oliveira, going into his world and submitting him. But this time, maybe doing it in Volk's world on the feet. That's what he said in an interview. He was going to go against Coach's wishes, but that could just be pure waffle to hype the fight. Maybe get in Volk's head. Who knows? I don't think it'll happen. He'd probably look to take him down. If he does, how tough can a man be when his neck is gut and he's getting choked out and there's no oxygen left? I think Volkanovski won't tap. He might even go to sleep. I could easily see it going for a decision as well. I'm going to go Islam Makhachev by either or. By decision is probably the smarter choice. That'll probably what I'd do if I was betting on it. I might bet on it still, to be fair. But I'm going to go outlandish, and I'm going to go Islam Makhachev by a rear naked choke in the 4th round. Ooh, that's a good prediction. Will it come off? Who knows? But yeah, UFC 284, February's pay-per-view. Those are my predictions. Josh Emmett in the co-main, Islam Makhachev in the main, knocking off Alexander Volkanovski as pound for pound and taking the #1 spot for himself. Slowly but surely growing out of the shadow of Khabib Nurmagomedov's legacy and whatnot, proving he is the worthy champ. So yeah. Who do you think is going to win these fights between Rodriguez and Emmett and Makhachev and Volkanovski? Leave them in the comments below. If you like this UFC content, like it and don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.